Good afternoon, dear students. Our today's theme is job interview. Today we study together with you the meaning of the job interview and also the tips of it. Let's start our lesson. These PowerPoint presentation objectives are understanding the nature of interview process, knowing the characteristics of job interviews, and identifying the pre-interview preparation techniques, understanding how to project a positive image during a job interview, knowing alternative interview formats, knowing different types of interview questions and how to answer. And what is a job interview? A job interview is a pre-arranged and planned conversation used for evaluating the suitability of a candidate for a particular position, or a meeting in which an employer asks the person applying for a job questions to see whether they would be the right person to do that job, or a formal meeting at which someone is asked questions in order to find out if they are suitable for a post of employment. Key point: success in a job interview depends on knowledge, self-confidence, good speaking skills, and using interview strategies. Challenging: there are several factors responsible for making job interviews more challenging. They are growing competition in the market, challenging dependence of the job market, growing professionalism of the business world, increasing focus on the candidate's personal qualities, changes in the interviewing techniques. And there are 5 aspects of job interviews. They are informality, conversation, purpose, planning, and two-way interactions. Now, dears, we see them one by one, step. Next one is pre-interview preparation techniques are self-analysis, skills assessment, company analysis, job analysis, subject revision, developing interviewing file. Self-analysis involves identifying your background, career goals, accomplishments, achievements, special interests, and hobbies. Analyze your skills. Skills assessment is the process of analyzing your skills in terms of the skills required for the position you are seeking. There are 2 types of skills: learner skills, marketing, driving, planning, management, public speaking, administration, programming, consulting, foreign languages, teaching, training, supervising, data processing, and listening. Intuitive skills: it is leadership, team buildings, stamina, courage, creativity, analysis, imagination, boldness, efficiency, motivating, patience, and sincerity, and others. Research the organization. Researching an organization involves gathering basic information about the nature, operation status, culture, growth rate, and activities of the organization. There are many ways to research the organization. The first and easiest is visiting the web page of the organization. The candidate must have basic information about the organization, which are growth rate, work culture, major areas of operation, products, services of the organization, corporate culture, project services and products, financial standing, and others. Job analysis will provide you broad information about position. You should try to answer the following question before facing an interview. What does the job involve? What are the special duties? What are the challenges of this position? What are the skills and abilities needed for the job? What are the prospects? What are the chances of career enhancement? In order to research the job, you may use several available resources such as the internet, library, organizations, public relations office, people work on the organization, particularly your institution. Revise your subject knowledge. Revise your subject for clarity and confidence. This interviewer may test your knowledge on a wide range of topics related to learning, social, political, economic, scientific, engineering, environmental issues, national, international affairs, controversial topics, case, newsmaker, and many more. As an educated person, you are expected to be aware of such matters. Therefore, reading newspaper, watching news on television, and visiting informative websites to brush up your knowledge about recent developments in different areas is essential. Develop the interview file. Preparing for an interview demands a professional approach. Therefore, you should develop an interview file that may contain the following papers and documents: interview letter, experience certificates, references and certificates, others. Preparation steps: identify your achievements, keep your basic clear. Keep photocopies of essential papers. Visit the website of the organization you wanted to join. Relate your skills to the needs of the job. Keep your credentials ready. Identify your special interests and hobbies. Brush up your general awareness. Keep your original degrees, certificates, and transcript. Analyze your background. Find out the products or services of the organization. Analyze your career goals. Identify your accomplishments. List the skill necessary for the job. Make an index of all documents for easy reference and location. Types of interview question: they are 7: open, closed, probing, reflective, loaded, and hypothetical, leading. Open questions: an open question asks the candidate to talk about something. Its main purpose is to encourage the candidates to talk broadly about a topic or subject. For example, tell us something about yourself, talk about your interests and activities, describe the most difficult situation that you recently faced. What are the advantages of a mixed economy in your past job experience? Tell me about a time when you stuck to company policy to solve a problem when it might have been easier or more immediately effective not to. Give me an example of a time when communicating with a customer. And closed question. Closed question limit the scope of the response by asking candidate to provide specific information or facts. For example, do you know data processing? Where did you receive your first professional training? What was your major subject in university? When did you complete your graduation? And so on. Probing question. The main purpose of a probing question is to probe more deeply or ask for an explanation or clarification of a statement just made. Probing question encourages the candidate to talk in greater depth about the topic or subject. Tell me more about that. What led you to? Reflective questions. Reflective questions are asked to confirm the statements given by candidate. The purpose is to check that the interviewers understand what the candidate has said. Example: that means you want the public sector companies to be totally privatized. And now, dears, we watch a video about job interview.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in, and then,
How did you learn about the opening?
well, I saw it online, on, I think, Facebook.
Why do you want this job?
I'm broke, and, money solves a lot of problems, and
What are your biggest weaknesses?
my triceps, but also, I'm very, good work ethic.
What are your biggest strengths?
I'm very good at answering questions, and
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
in Hawaii, or Mexico, maybe, depending on how this goes.
Out of all the candidates, why should we hire you?
Well, because I'm very decisive and good at public speaking, and no, I'm super confident.
Take a deep breath. It's okay, relax. It's normal to be nervous in an interview or even fearful. Maybe you've been wanting this dream job for years and finally you get that interview. Or maybe you've been looking for work for months and you need to pay the bills, you need the income coming in, and this is your only shot and you don't want to blow it. Today I'm going to share with you some important tips on exactly how to be more confident in interviews without coming across being arrogant. In fact, I'm going to share with you 4 fears that you have during an interview and exactly what you could do to reduce or eliminate that fear.
Fear is not real.
You see, we cannot be more confident if we don't know what is causing us to feel nervous and fearful. And there are 4 fears that you experience during an interview. The first one is embarrassment of personal appearance. Let's face it, most of us don't like how we look and how we sound. Maybe we don't like our weight, we don't like our body shape, we don't like how we talk, we don't like our facial expressions, we don't like whatever that we don't like of ourselves, right? There's certain things that we don't feel confident about. And there may be certain things about ourselves, our appearance, that we feel very confident about. Sometimes this is a story that we have in our minds. Oh, what if the interviewer, the employer doesn't like this, doesn't like that about me, or what about this? And we try to hide the fact that that is part of who we are. So what could we do if you have this fear? By the way, comment below if you actually experience this fear in an interview. So what could we do? I always say, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you perform better, right? So dress to impress. In fact, I suggest you actually, whatever position that you're applying, you dress just one level up. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Go get the haircut. It doesn't matter if you're doing that interview through Zoom. Imagine you're actually doing it in person, right? Put on that cologne. Dress properly. Don't do that where you dress in suit and then it's actually like sweatpants below. No, because it affects your performance. When you take it seriously, when you give your 100%, you project your confidence even through the camera, even through your webcam on Zoom as well. If it's in person, of course, right? Shine your shoes. Make sure the hygiene, personal hygiene, all of that. So then you're confident, you're walking in, you're gonna ace that interview. That's my first recommendation. Fear number 2, fear of saying the wrong things. Comment below if this has ever happened to you. During an interview, the employer asking you questions, you're like, you're stumbling, you don't know what to say, and you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. I should have said something else. You regret it, right? So how do you solve this? The best way to solve this, and I am shocked why most people don't do it, you actually rehearse. Because guess what? Most of the questions are the same. Most of them, they ask the same questions and again and again. You know what those questions are going to be. Be prepared. So rehearse with a friend, with a family member. Have them ask you those questions multiple times, right? From different angle. Could be the beginning, during, and after the interview. Just do that. What you want to do is you want to rehearse so many times so you don't need to think about it. Doesn't matter what question they give you. You already rehearsed that so many times. You can just deliver naturally, right? What about this? What about that? You already know the answer. So you're not trying to search, oh, maybe I should say this. I shouldn't say that. Maybe I should say more of that. No, you already know. It's almost having a little script. There's nothing wrong with scripting this out. But then wouldn't I sound unnatural? Well, guess what? When you're stumbling upon sentences, when you freeze, when you don't know what to do, when you look awkward, now that's unnatural, right? Being natural doesn't mean you don't prepare. Just like a performer, they perform on stage. A speaker, they speak. Doesn't mean they don't rehearse. They give their 100%. That naturalness comes from emotions. So deliver, but prepare, rehearse multiple times, especially before an important interview. Fear number 3, fear of not getting the job, right? You lose that opportunity. So what could you do to boost that confidence? Before you go in for that interview, give yourself a little bit of time. Close your eyes and visualize. You're going in there or joining the Zoom that people are smiling at you. Imagine success, because positive expectation leads to positive outcome. Imagine if you are thinking about, oh my God, What if I don't get that job? Oh my God, what if they don't like me? Oh my goodness, what if I never get this opportunity again? Oh, I don't want to say stupid. Oh, I'm going to say something stupid. All this negativity, it doesn't help with your performance. Instead, you visualize success. It's almost like before you go into the interview, it's a done deal. Now, not coming across cocky and arrogant. I'm talking about, you know,